collagen. What are brands not telling you? Like, where does collagen come from? The sourcing.
There's a few things about collagen that grinds my gears.
Yeah.
One is that collagen can't be vegan,
Agreed.
right?
That annoys me when people do that.
You just can't have vegan collagen. But have you got a question about this coming up to provide some context? So
Yes.
that answer also needs context.
Yes.
Sourcing is a really important one for collagen. You know, there's a lot of countries in the world that are like less privileged than, say, Australia, for example. And, you know, it's hard to have regulations. It's expensive to regulate things. It's expensive to have top-notch machinery. It's cheaper to feed cattle with, you know, feed that's not natural. It's cheaper to farm fish and feed them, you know, things that they shouldn't be eating as well. So sourcing ends up being very, very important. And obviously there's lots of buzzwords that companies use, like sustainable. Sustainable just means that your source is from a fish farm, and these fish farms are fed with almost non-stop barley and things that they shouldn't be eating that literally makes their guts explode. These are extraordinarily sick fish. I mean, the underside of these tanks are danger zones. They're no-go zones. The amount of chemicals that are pumped into these fish from sprinkler systems in the roof, which have antibiotics and Lord knows what else coming out of them to keep these fish alive long enough that they can grow big enough. So sustainable is just a buzzword that means effectively zero. And if anything, it means -0, because if you see the word sustainable on packaging, I'd really look to confirm why in fact it's sustainable, because often it's just an absolute misdirection.
And I feel like brands use so many different marketing tactics in terms of like Australian sourced. Like most collagen isn't from Australian sourced.
Yeah, there's Australian made,
Yes.
packed in Australia. And what I see happening all the time is legally, if your ingredient is sourced overseas and you pack it in Australia, it needs to say packed in Australia from 0% Australian ingredients. Basically every single time I see a collagen, there's always a made in Australia on there, even though their product is not coming from Australia. So that's a misdirection that happens all the time. We use grass-fed, grass-finished collagen from Australia. We also get some of our collagen from Germany. I don't think there's anything wrong with overseas ingredients, but you just have to make sure the sourcing is good and that the testing is up to scratch.
I guess brands will specify if it is.
No, they won't.
They won't.
Nope.
So that's how people...
It's uncommon, but...
I mean, if it is from Australia, they'll shout it from the rooftops.
Yes,
majority of the time,
you would
because
imagine.
they have to pay. It's probably more expensive, so why wouldn't you make sure your consumers know about it, because it's very uncommon.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, you would expect a company that did have an actual Australian ingredient to say that this is an Australian ingredient sourced from Australia that's also made in Australia, versus, hey, this is sustainable collagen made in Australia. Well, I could pretty much guarantee that it's not sustainable and it's not made. Well, sustainable is just, okay, if you think farm fish is sustainable versus catching wild fish, I get it. Absolutely. Sustainable, fine. But these farmed fish are extraordinarily sick and are fed with all sorts of things to keep them alive long enough that they can extract some sort of collagen from their scales.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
And in terms of wild caught fish, I feel like a lot of people think that they have a lot of heavy metals in them in comparison to farmed. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, the most important thing when it comes to collagen is to make sure that your collagen has been third-party tested. And, you know, one thing about sort of having a fresh apple, like eating a fresh apple, and if I was buying a fresh apple and they're like, look, I grew this in my backyard, my name's Steve and I'm a professional apple grower, we use no sprays, whatever. But at some point, if it's like this apple puree, extremely processed, it's not even apple anymore, it's just effectively sugar that's been pulled. The amount of refinement and processing that it goes through, it doesn't even matter whether it's organic or not. It's just so processed, and collagen's very processed. It's extremely processed, and that's not always. Processing of food is usually a great thing. You know, I'll give you an example. If you had to get sugar from sugarcane yourself, if you had to eat sugarcane and process it yourself with your teeth and mouth, this would be very disadvantageous for your gut. You'd have a terrible stomachache versus if you had sugar that was processed. This is clean, refined, it's easy to digest. So it's not always that processing of food is bad. When it comes to collagen, it's going to be heavily processed no matter what the source. If it's grass-fed, grass-finished, farmed, it's really processed. And with some foods, it can be good that it's more heavily processed. So with collagen, metals are a problem with collagen. Whether it's fish or from bovine sources, metals are a problem. The better the machinery and the more carefully processed the collagen is, the lower chance of heavy metals being in your product, because part of the processing is going to be proper testing of that ingredient as well. So really that's the most important thing, is making sure that the company that you buy the collagen from has done third-party testing and they're prepared to release the results, because obviously it's easy to say that this is third-party tested, but then if you kind of write in and go, hey, give us the results, and they go, ooh, the support person's off today or something.
We're on holiday. We can't get back to you. Sorry.
Yeah, everyone's on holiday until you go away.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Is marine collagen better for your skin?
The very, very short answer is yes. The slightly longer answer is you will find that marine collagen is far more expensive, because brands sort of take that opportunity to go, yeah, it's better for your skin, so we'll charge you way more. Look, it certainly costs more to produce marine collagen. But a lot of the time, what will happen to offset that cost? So for example, with our product Perfectly Pure Collagen, it's 10 grams or 10,000 milligrams of pure collagen peptides per serve. With marine collagens that I've seen that are twice the price or more than twice the price, a serving size might be 2.5 grams, right? Now, in the bovine collagen that we have, it's about half type 1 collagen, which is the same type of collagen as what marine collagen is. There's 5 or 6 different types of collagen, and then it's half type 3 collagen, right? And the type 3 collagen tends to be better for your bones, gut, joints, and other lean tissues, right? So these are all good things as well.
100%.
These are like a lot of people would say these are awesome things as well as the skin. So you've got only type 1 collagen in marine. Yeah, sure, it's good for the skin. But that will almost always come along with a far reduced serving size, because it tends to be more expensive. Brands like to charge premium prices for marine. So if you get yourself a good quality pure bovine collagen, you're going to get the exact same type 1 of collagen that's in marina. Plus maybe even more type 1, and then definitely more type 3, because there's no type 3. So you're going to get those other benefits as well. So strictly speaking, marine might be better for the skin, but all in all, you're better off getting yourself a good quality collagen that you like, that has, sometimes marines are a little bit, tiny bit fishy and smelly. Our bovine, for example, has no taste, no smell, mixes great, put it in your coffee, tea, you won't know it's there. And it's a good, strong dose, which is very important, because collagen's not a therapeutic, in that it's not like some drug or some natural medicine where a small amount is going to change something to do with your physiology. Collagen's a food. It's very important to understand that. So collagen's protein, right? And it's a unique source of protein. It's important to take in collagen one way or the other. You're either cooking up like knee joints or chicken feet or shoulders, which not a lot of people want to do these days. Or, a great option is bone broth, gelatin, or collagen powder. These are all very, very similar. So the main thing is you're really seeing it as a protein source.